What's up, big birds? Behind me, a long bone. Now, a long bone is a composition of compact bone and cancellous bone. There's compact bone superficially, and then there's cancellous bone deeply or internally. Now, long bones do have a center cavity within them known as the medullary cavity. Medullary derived from the term medulla, meaning center, right? This medullary cavity is filled with yellow bone marrow. So yellow bone marrow, it's going to be storage of some triglycerides. Now your long bone has multiple parts to it that we break down based off of where it's at, where it sort of grows and develops. Now the long part that we consider the shaft of the bone, this is known as the diaphysis. This is the diaphysis of the bone. Okay. Now up here we see something known as the epiphyseal line. All right. Now when this bone develops, there's an ossification center down here. There's an ossification center up here. Two different places where the bone starts to ossify from. And those two places start to come together and merge, right? So in between them, there is cartilage, right? And that cartilage is what we refer to as the growth plate or the epiphyseal plate. Now, as those two ossification centers start to come together and they eventually merge together, that epiphyseal plate becomes the epiphyseal line. Now, what we have is the separation between the diaphysis, the shaft part, right, and the part where there's another ossification center up here. This is known as the epiphysis. Now, this picture is actually a little bit wrong. They didn't put the epiphyseal plate in the right spot, because in this one, the epiphyseal plate is right here, but in reality, the epiphyseal plate is right here, and then there's another one that runs right here, okay? And there are basically two epiphyses. There's one here and there's one here. One of them is weight bearing. That's what we refer to as the epiphysis. This one over here it comes from a secondary ossification center, but it is not weight bearing. That's what we call an apophysis. So you have the apophysis, epiphysis, and then the diaphysis. And then in the middle, where that sort of cartilage was, where that growth plate was, that's what we call the metaphysis. So there'd actually be a metaphysis here, and there'd be a metaphysis over here, since there's different epiphyseal plates. Then down here, we have the distal epiphysis, because there would be the metaphysis or epiphyseal plate and line right here, right? And so that is the components of a long bone. I know. Later.